These are Borah Voices.
Welcome to episode 16 of the Borah Pridecast. We're getting ready to close down the 2019 school year. And for this episode, we'll hear from Borah's William E. Borah Scholars. 6 of them this year. They are the creme de la creme of the most academically inclined students at this school. They've AP'd and GPA'd themselves to academic wonder. And turns out they're not just a bunch of brainiacs, but they're actually kind of hilarious also. So hope you enjoy that. Also, we have a prep period cold call. Yes, Patrick?
Yeah, the prep period cold call was with Miss Inlow. She's been here for a year, fitting in well. She's up from Texas. There's some interesting things about her. And we did some decision day discussions with some of the students on what they're going to do after they leave school. So that's pretty interesting. We have 2 of them that want to work with dead people. Interesting, fun. Morbid, but fun.
Morbid fun. And that's all right. Hi, this is Chuck McHenry. This time I wear a different hat. I am the co-chair of the William E. Borah Scholar Award Committee, and I am here with 2019 6, we call them Web Scholars, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the Web Scholar Award is all about. It originated in 1980 when a group of faculty thought it would be cool to hand out an award to some of their best students, the ones who had taken the most rigorous courses at Borah High School. Back in those days, there were just a handful of AP classes and honor courses. We have over 20 AP courses now, and so the 6 scholars that we have here have taken a battery of those courses, done well in them. They have to have a decent GPA, but they also are sort of Renaissance kids, so they have a lot of different activities that they do. A lot of extracurricular, some are sports, some are academic pursuits, and on top of that, of course, then they take all the hardest classes that we can offer at school. There's a other list of criteria that they go through. They have to do an application process, and then it goes before the committee, which is made up of gray and grizzled veteran AP teachers, such as myself. And then we work through those applications and pick them. And I'm going to introduce them in a minute. They're fresh from their tour of their calculus textbooks last night, probably. And they're in our studio today. We can break the ice a little bit, sort of introduce yourself. And I wonder if you could tell us how many AP courses you've taken in your 3 years here at Borah High School, and what the hardest course is for you. How about that? So we'll go clockwise.
I'm Jamie French, and I've taken 13 AP classes, and I'd say my hardest one was AP Chemistry or AP Biology.
I'm Madeline Krause, and I've taken 10 AP classes. I would say the hardest has probably been AP Bio.
I'm Maya MacArthur. I've taken 9 AP classes, and I would say the hardest has either been AP Bio or AP Literature.
I'm Angela Parker. I've also taken 9 AP courses, and I would say the hardest is either AP Chem or AP Physics.
I'm Tanea Madsen. I've taken 10 AP classes, but the hardest class that I've ever taken at Borah was accelerated pre-calculus.
You're not wrong there. My name is Katie Leung, and I've taken 10 AP classes, and I would probably agree that pre-calc was the hardest class for me.
Wow, okay. Well, one thing I can't help but notice that my own course of AP Language didn't make even the top 3 list of hardest classes ever, which doesn't really surprise me. So talk a little bit about your time at Borah, how you feel about having been so academically involved, and you might, and in here Mr. Ray can take in and take out some stuff, put in and take out some stuff. So we like crosstalk. We sort of have a conversation where it feels a little more natural, so we're not like 6 robots in here talking into the thing. The one thing I would notice, I think this is the first year since I've been a co-chair that we've had just girls, young ladies, as our Web Scholar group. Is that because high school boys are as dumb as I was in high school? Is that what's happening?
Absolutely.
That seems to be the year for you guys, you gals, you women, young women, to be the sort of the cream of the crop of this academic year. So first, congratulations on all of that. Talk a little bit about your time here at Borah. Anybody can go first. Anybody can weigh in if there's things you want to make sure, like other kids coming up. Like, did you all think coming in as sophomores, I'm going to be a web scholar? Because I know some kids think about that.
I didn't know about this award until last year, if I'm totally honest, which was kind of awkward. But I was like, it just happened that I took all the AP classes that they wanted us to take. So, is that bad? I mean,
No,
I didn't know
not
about
by
it.
any stretch.
That
The award itself is unique to the school. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
named for William E. Borah, who's the Lion of the Senate, and our school's named after him. So probably even if you put that on a college app somewhere and send it out, it's not gonna send off a whole lot of bells and whistles, and most of them are like, what's a web scholar? But yeah, talk a little bit about Borah and working hard. And
Well, I think the hardest part about taking a lot of AP classes isn't the coursework itself, but also balancing that with our extracurricular activities. I know all of us here are involved with different clubs and sports at Borah. Like myself, I'm on the cheer team, but I was also in orchestra and National Honor Society and a couple other clubs here at Borah too. And also having a job and then 3 younger sisters and just being able to balance everything and then still succeed in your classes.
I think that's like a common theme that we all have. Like everybody's not just doing the classes. Like most of us play sports, most of us do art or music or HOSA, have all these other clubs going on at the same time.
I think it's important to balance your life, though, and have a lot of those different categories, because if you get too focused on school or whatever it may be, academics, then you don't have an opportunity to like blow off some steam and kind of just change the scenery every once in a while.
Yeah, you need to be able to have fun too.
Fun.
I can be a web scholar and have fun.
Yeah.
That's a goal.
I think the nice thing about going to Borah is I think a lot of students have gotten the opportunity to like look into a career and not just necessarily taking the courses just because they can. I think for me personally, because I know I want to go into medicine, the Club HOSA has definitely let me look into that pathway of, like volunteering at St. Alphonsus and speaking with EMTs and all those other emergency care individuals that I really want to speak to. And I think for other people like that want to go into sports, I think you're able to connect to like coaches and other people like say in college that'll help you move into like a different career. I think there's just a lot more opportunities at Borah than at other schools in terms of branching out before you leave.
I would say for me the word of the year would be networking, because like Katie was saying, the importance of like talking to new people and meeting new people is unprecedented, really. Like HOSA has allowed me to, similar things, meet a lot of new people in EMT that could get me a job later, and then also
What does HOSA stand for?
Health Occupational Students of America. And we're part of the Borah HOSA chapter. We compete in all sorts of events, knowledge and skill based around health occupations.
We could flex a little bit there.
So Katie and I are partners we're at the tech center, we're taking EMT, and we're competing as partners in HOSA, and this week we just won the state competition. So we're going to go to nationals, which is in Disney World this summer.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EMT, you mean like emergency medical technician stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you, what kind of company, like,
So there's
give this guy mouth to mouth, oh my gosh, he's bleeding, what do we do?
There's a multiple choice section, which is basically just straight out of the textbook of all the things that you need to know. And then the skills portion is they give you a random scenario. You have no clue what it's going to be. And there's, they call them skill sheets. Basically, you have to follow that, and you're trying to get as many points based on doing things right and thinking fast and being able to understand what needs to be done to help the person that is in trouble. and then they add up all the points and then combine it with the knowledge test. And
Sounds hard.
It's stressful.
it's really fun.
It's
stressful.
fun but stressful.
She gets stressed. I just have fun the whole time.
It's all good.
Well, how many of the 6 of you? How many of you have gone to school more than just at Borah with each other? I mean, I'm assuming some of you know each other for a long time.
Well, we went to, let's see, Maya, Madeline, did you? No, you went to Maple Grove, right?
No,
No,
Madeline and I went to Horizon.
Horizon. Oh my God, I'm sorry. But I know Maya and I went to Amity.
Yeah.
When Maya moved here, I became friends with her. I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of you guys I knew before then. So.
I transferred to Horizon about a quarter into 1st grade, and I met Madeline that day, and we've been friends ever
It's
since.
adorable. Who's the funniest of all 6 of you?
I vote Maya.
Deadpan sarcasm, though. So.
Yeah, no.
Very dry humor.
From my own experience, I know sarcasm is one of your better techniques of communication.
Oh, yeah.
So.
We're all just too intellectual to be funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we forget, do all of you have your college plans pretty well cemented? You know where you're headed? Why don't you tell us where you're going after graduation?
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
I want to go to Boise State University and become a registered nurse because I know that their nursing program is really good, and hopefully drool into graduate school and become a nurse practitioner, and go to the Philippines where my mom's from and help the developing areas there.
That's great.
I plan to go to the University of Idaho to study marketing at their business college and hopefully lead to a career in that.
I'm going to go to the Honors College at Boise State to study biochemistry so I can work with gene research or pharmaceuticals.
I'm really excited to be a part of the Honors College at University of Utah, and I'm especially excited because I'm going to be roommates with Katie. We're both going to study pre-medicine and biology, and we want to go on to be emergency medical physicians.
I was really excited based off of my GPA and my test scores. I got a full ride scholarship to Utah State, so that is where I'm going.
Well, that's great.
Nice.
What do you plan on studying?
Biology, pre-med, and then...
I guess Anja basically said everything for me. Yeah, we're going to be in the honors program at University of Utah. It's really nice because there is a medical school on campus at University of Utah, which is why we're going there. Their biology major especially has an anatomy and physiology emphasis, so we're going to be using that, and with their EMT certs, hopefully find jobs or something along those lines of getting extra certifications to move us along. So
That's great.
yeah.
That is great. Well, all of this ends in the big banquet down at Cottonwood Grill, and your parents will be there. A lot of dignitaries, retiring superintendents, upcoming superintendents. I'll be there, so it should be good. Mr. Westcott has to give a speech this year, which is always exciting. It'll be fun. And we look forward to seeing you there. Is there anything else anybody wants to add before I ask you to say our motto for the Pridecast?
Push yourself, but not too far. Not like us.
I like it.
Remember, you can be a web scholar and have fun.
We are Borah Voices.
Hopefully you have some desserts and you can still relax unless you're one of the girls, and then you're going to feel nervous until you get up here and talk. So I'm not going to talk very long because I will cry like a baby over these kids. Look, I want to already. So here's the thing I was thinking about. It's this movie called Apollo 13, and it's Tom Hanks, and like they're up in the spaceship and everything's gone wrong, and they have to keep talking to the NASA people. I'm like, what? You got to solve it. You got to solve the problem. And here's the things we have. We have to solve it with that. And that, honestly, when I was thinking about these young ladies tonight, I was like, I think about them as these people who are problem solvers. They're creative. They're steadfast. They're actually kind of steely, I would say. Like, you are not going to, they're unflappable. And so they're really kind of a group of just super cool people and human beings, but also who you're really going to come to rely on in the future. And that's the best I can describe them without just, like, say, just breaking down and having a breakdown right here. Some of these guys I've known since they were, pretty little, and they just all feel like kids that I would want to spend time with, and they wouldn't want to really hang out with me so much, but I'd be like, Jamie, let's do something. We're best friends, right? So I am excited for you to meet them tonight and hear a little bit about their journey as students here and where they're headed. So enjoy it, and congratulations to the Webb Scholars, because you are just a really special and fantastic group.
Both of my parents are not from here. I'm Vietnamese American and they are Vietnamese. They came here in the 1970s and the 90s, and they've honestly encouraged me to get an education here, to take advantage of the opportunities that there aren't available in other countries. But anyways, so there was one day when I just instinctively packed my entire backpack, and I had my little dolls and everything, and I heard that bus again. I ran up to the window as normal, and I looked outside, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. So what I did was I opened the door. Let's just imagine this is a little Asian girl just going up and reaching the door, and I'm like, bye, Mom. I'm going to school. And my mom, she was like, okay, Gong. And Gong is like deer in Vietnamese. She's like, okay, Gong, have fun. And she thought I was joking, so she didn't say anything. And as some of you guys know, I actually have a younger sister, and my mom was actually breastfeeding her at the time, so she was pretty preoccupied. She heard the door open, but I was already running out to the door, and I was already going up that bus. And I just remember her just running behind me, and I know I was so young, but I can still remember her just screaming, get back here, you're not supposed to get on there. And I was on the handrail, I was looking up that bus driver, and he was laughing at me. He was like, you're not supposed to be here, and it's at the end of the day, he's like, I'm trying to finish my job, why are you here, But just, it's a remembrance of, me really wanting to go to school, and as a consequence, we actually still have 2 locks at the very top of our door. So just a reminder that we have 4? Oh, never mind, correction. So it's just a reminder that, and my sister is the same way too, is that we really want to get an education here, and I think that at Borah, I've definitely tried my best to take advantage of my opportunities.
Thank you, Katie. So first, I would like to thank my incredibly supportive parents, who have been the main influence for my academic accomplishments. Not only have they funded everything that I might need, but they've always believed in me and pushed me to be my best. My dad's favorite quote on report card day was always the loving reminder that if they aren't A's, don't bother coming home. This joke always had an element of seriousness, however, because my parents knew that if I put forth my best effort, I should accept nothing less than good grades. My parents were always there to support my academics, music, and athletics. Whether it was a concert, school performance, soccer game, tennis match, swim meet, basketball game, volleyball game, or any other activity, my parents were always there to support me, never batting an eye when I decided to try something new.
When my mom would read me bedtime stories at night, I would correct her and force her to read every word of all 72 pages of Hop on Pop, not allowing her to make up an ending to the story to try and speed things along. What are you? A question I'm frequently asked. The answer was simple: Filipino and Caucasian. I felt like I had to choose between the two, and somehow this would determine my life course. I was betraying both sides of my ethnicity by not being full of either. Unconditional love, dedication, and diligence. That's my mother. That's the jingle from her jade bracelets. That's her voice. She's like a water lily. Despite the sunlight unable to reach the depths of a murky pond, she managed to surface the ripples of past adversities and bloom. My mother is multilingual, but that doesn't mean she thinks with an accent. She gave up parts of herself, her energy, her time, her home, for my sisters and my own opportunities. As much as I felt like she sacrificed her happiness for us, she found happiness through giving. What are you? A question I'm frequently asked. The answer was simple. I'm her daughter.
So to start off, I'll give you a little about me. First of all, I'm also a little bit of a nerd. I love math and science, and I've been fascinated with every single class I've ever taken in any of those subjects, even AP chemistry. Looking back, one of my most prominent memories is the last day of 9th grade, when after all of the finals were over, and we had parties and ate loads of sugar in every class. I remember going to the library after the day was over and asking if they had anything at all I could help with. It seemed like a silly thing to do, as I had just been freed from the clutch of West Junior High. But in hindsight, I know what was going on. I wasn't ready to leave. I wanted to squeeze out every last moment in that building, no matter how much I told myself I was ready to move on. In a couple of weeks, when I walk out of Borah High School as a student for the last time, I know I will have that same feeling. It has been my home away from home for the last 3 years, where all of my friends are, where I spend my time learning things that will help me reach my goals later in life, and where I know that my mind will wander when I look back on this utterly spectacular high school career.
Well, I've had many life-changing experiences in the classroom. Some of my greatest lessons I've learned have come from running track. Track is a really hard sport to like. All you do is run, rest, repeat. Talent can only get you so far. You have to work hard at practice to do well in competition. It wasn't always fun at the time, but the discipline that it took to do miles worth of sprints, even in gale force winds and sideways rain, always paid off on meet day. The same was true for high school.
Well, that was truly amazing, and thank you all for sharing your stories and your experiences. And thank you all for coming this evening to honor these 6 amazing young women. We acknowledge and respect the hard work you have dedicated to your academics at Borah, and it was really inspiring for me to hear all of your stories and get to know you just a little bit better. And I look forward to the next very short few weeks we have with you, and we'll see you all at graduation. So congratulations and have a good rest of your evening. Thanks for being here.
These are Borah Voices.
Hello?
Stephanie?
Yes?
Miss Inlow, this is Patrick Rose with the Prep Period Cold Call. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good. How you hobbling around? Doing a little better there?
I'm cast free, so...
Oh, there you go.
Things are looking up.
Fantastic. Hey, why don't you describe to our listeners what you do here at Borah, because you're called a counselor, but it's kind of counseling like when kids are crying and upset, but it's also you have to put their schedules together. Is that right?
That's right. We do a little bit of everything. So, a little bit of scheduling, a little bit of emotional and kind of overall health support, making a move towards graduation, and making sure that goes smoothly as much as possible, and then just having them kind of looking forward to what they want to do after they graduate from high school.
Wow. Many hats.
Mini hat.
Yeah,
that's right.
Probably keeps it real exciting, though. Keeps it fresh.
High school counseling is always exciting.
Okay, now what did you do before this? I know you came from Texas. We'll get back to that, because that's not a different state, it's a different country, I would imagine. But what were you doing down there before you came up here?
I did the exact same thing. I was a high school counselor down there for about 22 years.
22 years, and then came up here. Mm-hmm. Good move, by the way.
Yes.
We welcome you. Tell me a few differences between Idaho schools and Texas schools. You were high school there too, right?
Right. I was high school, and I was in a high school that's a little bit bigger than this one, mostly because we had 9th grade. So we had 9th through 12th grade, and we had about 2,200 kids.
Okay. And tell me some differences.
From what I've seen and, what I've experienced so far, obviously there's a difference. I came from a high school that was right on the border of Mexico, so my population was 99% Hispanic. I kind of worked with the same demographic of kids. So obviously with Borah being so diverse, that's a huge change for me. I'm really enjoying that. But it's very different when you're working with one type of student and then you come here and you're working with so many different countries and languages. Right. And so I'd say that's a big one.
So many of our students have such different educational backgrounds.
Right.
Right. That probably, getting those guys lined out to actually graduate and explaining all that is probably a hefty job in and of itself.
It is, and I'm kind of used to that because I did come from a school that was right on the border, and we had a lot of recent immigrants that were coming from Mexico, Ecuador, South America, that didn't have a lot of education, some of them none at all. So I at least already had a little bit of a background working with that type of a student. So I feel pretty comfortable in what I've had to do this year at Borah so far.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're here. I mean, it seems like you're fitting in well and everything's going well. Are you planning on riding out your career here at Borah?
I've already ridden out one career because I retired from Texas. So this is my second go around. So I would hope that I can ride out whatever I need to do here and then ride off into the Idaho sunset.
Nice. Now you have family in school here too.
I do. I have a niece that's a senior.
A niece that is a senior. How's that going?
It's fun. It's kind of exciting to be here for that final year of her high school career. I mean, I've been so far away for basically all of her life. So it's really cool to be here and kind of be a part of that and see her make her college choices and, be ready to move on. So that's exciting.
Good. Nice. Hey, I'm going to play a little clip for you here. And I want you to tell me what it reminds you of and what is your connection to this. So sit back, relax, listen to this for just a minute, and then let us know what your connection is to this.
All right.
Okay, so I knew you would recognize that.
I do.
And tell us about this part of your life. How did this happen?
That's kind of the entry song for that they usually play at the Olympics.
Correct.
And so when I was graduating from high school, it's at the end of my senior year, my small community back in Missouri, I was nominated. I was in a pool of about 7 other people, because that summer was, the 1984 Summer Olympics, and they were selecting people to carry the Olympic torch across the United States from east to west. And so communities could nominate and select someone, and they had to raise money. And if you were chosen, then you got to carry the Olympic torch for a portion of that race across the country. And so I was selected by my community to carry the 1984 Olympic torch in St. Louis, Missouri.
I would be so afraid of tripping, and it goes in the gutter and poofs out. Do you go back to Rome to light it, or can you just pull out your Bic and just keep looking around like nobody saw it and keep moving?
Luckily, I didn't mess that whole process up. I stayed on 2 feet for my mile. I think I ran about 3/4 of a mile with it. And of course, you get to keep, we got to keep, because what you're carrying is the flame. So we actually got to keep our torch.
That is cool. Do you still have it?
I believe my mom still has it.
Okay, I would love to see this thing. I really would. Bring it in one day. I'd love to see it.
I do have pictures.
Okay, now, I was going to ask, if you have a picture, please get it to Laura, okay, so we can get it onto the YouTube video that goes along with this podcast.
All right, I will look for that, and I will make sure Laura gets those pictures.
All right, thanks for your time. I know you're super busy. We're going to end it like this. I so appreciate you and your time here at Borah.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
These are Borah Voices.
Today is May 1st, 2019. I'm standing here with seniors and talking to them about Decision Day. So, Rhiannon, what are you doing next in life?
I do start BSU in the fall 2019, and I will be going to BSU for 2 years, and then I will be transferring to a trade school for mortuary cosmetology.
My name is Jade Perkins, and I plan on taking a year or two off and just working and getting my money saved up and then going to culinary school somewhere.
My name is Gabriel Cook, and in the future I want to go in the Marine Corps.
My name is Mallory Hurst, and I plan on taking a year off and then going to school to major in ceramics.
I'm Abigail Parrish Gilstrap, and I plan on going to Boise State to get my master's in art history and visual culture so I can be a curator at a museum.
My name is Aspen Sidaway. I'm going to BYU, Idaho to study elementary education.
I'm Sydney Beasley, and I plan to study radiography or kinesiology when I get out of Borah.
My name is Satu, and I plan on going to college.
My name is Christiana Molesky. I'm going to BYU, Idaho, and I'm a major in social work.
Hi, my name is Mariana Cervantes, and I'm officially signing to the College of Idaho.
My name is Ismail Abdi, and when I graduate, I want to go to college, and I'm going to go to Texas around my dad, because I haven't seen him in 2 years. So I'm going to go there, community college, then I'm going to transfer back to Idaho, like BSU. So yeah, I want to study computer science, and I want to do track and field because I love running and jumping, so that's who I am. So yeah, I want to compete for college.
Hi, I'm Kat Merrill, and I am going to start off by going to CWI for an associate's degree in biology, and then go to University of Chicago for their biochemistry program.
After I graduate, I'm going to CWI for the Fire Service Technology program, and after the Fire Service Technology program, they take the top 8 students out of that class and put them into firefighting school, and then after that, you go to be a firefighter. So that's my plans for after high school.
Nice. What's your name?
Tanner Holt.
Excellent.
Okay. I'm Trevin Hall. I'm a senior at Borah, and my plans for after high school are to go to Boise State, study computer science, and play lacrosse. I've been in contact with a coach and look forward to starting that.
I'm Avery Rooney. I plan on going to University of Idaho in the fall and majoring in environmental science and dance.
Go Vandals!
Hi, my name is Lila Lucero, and I want to work in forensic anthropology to help reconstruct faces from missing bodies and recovered remains. That was horrible because I said missing bodies. Can we try again? I'm not good. Hi, my name is Lila Lucero, and I want to work in forensic anthropology so that I could identify missing remains.
These are Borah Voices.
Let's all say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
That's right.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Good job. We are headed into graduation, so you can't see us in here, but we've all slapped on our caps and gowns and getting excited for a little pomp and circumstance.
This will be our 3rd annual graduation episode, correct?
That is correct. Absolutely.
It's almost like we know what we're doing now.
Let's not get carried away.
And if we have time, we will put together a special episode of the best of the Borah Pridecast that will have the best of, hence the name Best Of.
Yeah, you will put it on a loop all summer long, I'm sure. So get ready.
Enjoy your summers, you guys. Thanks for listening, and we will see We will broadcast to you soon.